Guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Sonja, and today I will be sharing with you 5 very delicious what's for dinner ideas. I also want to mention that today's video is part of a collaboration with Tiff from Small Town 6. I encourage you to check Tiff's channel if you have not been on her channel there already. She shares amazing recipes as well as what's for dinners, along with some cleaning and product reviews. She has tons of great stuff on her channel, so I do encourage you again to go and check her out and subscribe if you're not, and let her know that I've sent you. And if you're stopping by from her channel, welcome. Like I mentioned before, my name is Sonja, and this is my cooking channel where I share recipes and tons of what's for dinner ideas. So I would love it if you considered subscribing and pressing the notification bell so you don't miss out my videos. I post 1 to 2 times a week on this channel, but I also have other channels. If you enjoy decorating, cleaning, DIYs, I will have them all linked down below for you to check out. So without further ado, let's get cooking. For this very first dish that I'm sharing with you, the day before we had tacos and I prepped enough meat for 2 dinners. So this night we were having taco salad, which is pretty much the same as tacos except no shells and a little bit healthier. This is one of our favorite meals and I thought I'd share it with you. I prep my taco meat with some onion, garlic, and tomatoes, as well as some peppers, and use my own homemade taco seasoning. I will include the seasoning recipe down below. And today I am making an Instant Pot split pea soup. I have made ham the other day and got 2 meals out of it, and then I saved the bone, so I'm going to make a 3rd meal out of it and hopefully some lunches. So for this split pea soup you will need some carrots, some celery, onion, garlic, green peas, broth, bay leaf, thyme, and parsley, obviously a bone. I am also going to be adding some meat to mine. And then you need some salt and pepper. So I'm gonna get my veggies ready and I'm going to saute them in my Instant Pot. I do apologize, every time I grab a camera he seems to want to go outside. So, and I'm going to get started on this by, like I said, chopping veggies and sauteing them first. I just want to say I love meals that go so far. We had ham dinner, then I made some soup, and I also froze some ham for some breakfast dishes. This is just such a great budget friendly thing where you can buy one thing and create so many different dishes out of it. Whole turkeys are great for that as well. You can have your turkey dish, you can have your lunch dishes from the turkey, and then you can also make some broth. So as you can see, I added all of my veggies into saute, and then I'm going to add my seasonings as well, and the split peas, some broth. My broth is homemade as well, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned, and then I'm going to add the ham bone and some chopped up ham. We'll have the full recipe linked down below, and I also share this full recipe over on my channel already. So the soup is done. I just feel that it needs a little bit more salt, so I'm going to add a touch more. I just tried it, and because I use my homemade broth, which is not salty, that's why I needed more salt. But if you are just using store-bought with just regular one, then I would definitely taste it before you add more salt to make sure that it's not too salty, or that's salty enough. I'm going to remove the bone and then it's ready to eat. My family is going to have some BLT sandwiches with it. I'm not feeling like one, so I'll just have the soup. For dinner tonight, I am making some schnitzels. We had purchased pork loin at Costco and I split it into 3 and I cut one of them into cutlets and now I'm going to beat them into a schnitzel. I also cut off the fat. When I tenderize it, I want it to be not too thick and not too thin. So I have all my meat ready and now I'm going to season it with some pepper, salt, a little bit of Vegeta, and some garlic powder. Speaking of Vegeta, I will link it down below. I think you can get it on Amazon. It is just dehydrated vegetable seasoning and I use it for almost all of my cooking. So I'm going to season both sides and then I'm going to get my breading and egg wash ready. So I'm going to preheat my oil. I don't have a lot of oil here. I'm just going to pan fry it until the breading is stuck. I'm not going to fully cook it in oil. I'm going to place it onto my baking sheet and bake it in the oven for the rest of the way. It's just pretty much so the breading sticks to it, and but I don't want to completely deep fry it. You could if that's what you want to. I'm more like sauteing it would be the level, and I'm using avocado oil in here, and I like using my cast iron because it heats up really well and the oil gets pretty hot. So here is my breading. I've got flour, egg white, and some breadcrumbs. I use just a local bakery's breadcrumbs. Kirkland's egg whites. I typically use eggs, however I only have 2 left and they're not going to be enough, and just the regular unbleached white flour is what I'm using right now. You could use whole wheat or rye if you had some. Almond, coconut, all those ones don't really work that well for this recipe, but I'm sure you could figure out mixing Parmesan and stuff that you could do it as well. So I'm going to start breading my schnitzels, and once my oil is hot enough I will add them, and you definitely want your oil to be hot. So my oil is heated up. I just tested with a little bit of egg white. So I'm going to add my schnitzel into it. So now I'm on to my second batch. I just want to say at this point, if you wanted to do some meal prepping, you can freeze these once they cool off, and then when you're ready to use them, you can just take them out and put them in the oven for about an hour or so frozen, and they will fully cook. That way you can kind of get 2 meals out of one prep. So they are ready to go into the oven. You can cover them at this point if you want to keep the moisture in, kind of thing, or you can just leave them as they are and just flip them over a few times. And I preheat the oven to 375 and I will put them for about 45 minutes. So now I'm going to make a side dish. Since I'm making my kids' favorite meal, I'm going to make my version of a risotto. So I'm going to get my rice cooked, and I'm using basmati rice, and a cup of dry rice will give you 4 servings of cooked rice. And I'm going to add that Vegeta into it while it's cooking, just to give it a nice flavor. I'm going to add some butter and Parmesan, and I just added to taste. So once you reach desired creaminess and flavor, you added enough. For dinner tonight, we are having some beef tenderloin cut up into steaks. We're going to make them over cast iron on our stove because it is, I don't know if you can see, snowing quite hard out there, with some onions and mushrooms sauteed together, and then just added some salt, pepper, and Vegeta seasoning in there. And I'm going to get my baby potatoes ready. I had chopped them up, and I'm going to add some olive oil and season them with some garlic, salt, pepper, and a little bit of Vegeta, and bake it in the oven for about 45 minutes. And there's enough steak here for tomorrow's lunch. We'll do like a salad or something with the steak. For today for dinner, we are making individual naan flatbreads, and I have meal prepped some chicken at the beginning of the week that I'm going to shred up and add some buffalo sauce for mine. But in mine, I'm going to also use some chunky blue cheese, some feta. I am steeping a serving of spinach in the microwave with some water, and I had also cut up some tomatoes, just trying to use up everything out of my fridge before we go grocery shopping. So this can be any variations. I've seen like ranch dressing with some mozzarella, and like it's just whatever you like, that's how you make it pretty much. So I'm just sharing how I make mine. And if you're not a fan of buffalo sauce, you can also use barbecue sauce for your chicken as well, and then change up what you put on there on your flatbread. So the first thing that I did was take this chicken breast off the bone. I did cook it on the bone simply because that was the chicken that was on sale, and I knew exactly what I was doing with it, and having a bone was fine. Then I added some buffalo sauce, and then over to the flatbread I added the blue cheese dressing first. I also steamed my spinach and then just squeezed all the liquid out, added chicken, some tomato as well as feta, and then baked it for about 20 minutes. I did start eating it before I had a chance to take a picture, but at least I remember to do so. So here it is. Well, I hope you had enjoyed this What's for Dinner. I hope you got some great ideas. Don't forget to check out the recipes that I have included down below. Not every dinner that I shared has a recipe, but also, don't forget to check out Small Town 6, Tiffany's channel down below. And if you are going over there, let her know I sent you. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And thank you all so much for watching. Bye.